In the latest episode of The Cleaning Lady, Robert takes an episode off, and with Garrett wildly seeking vengeance, this put Nadia in the crosshairs as she handles things while Robert is away. So to begin, once Garrett confirms that Maya's been killed and he's able to assume it's Robert who did it, he's ready for the scorched earth approach. He doesn't care who he has to go through in order to get to Robert. Never mind the trigger person, because he knows Robert probably didn't kill Maya himself. He just wants it done. And of course, this means for Russo, red flags are being raised because a reckless Garrett has shown to be very detrimental to any case that he's involved with. And of course, this also is an issue for Tony and also Amon because they already have enough FBI issues right now in terms of, their connection between Tony being a CI for who knows how long at this point. Never mind, Amon have multiple incidents of the FBI busting on him or else having a situation where they get involved in his business. So Garrett wanted them to go in hard, fast, wear wires and all that. It's something that they know would only lead to trouble. But luckily for them, Garrett has this new tech and also perhaps a new partner that has a laser technology, so that rather than those two wear wires, they could have a laser pointed at the specific direction and they could pick up audio. This was supposed to be the way that they was going to catch Robert, at least on some white collar crime. But with Robert gone and Nadia in Robert's seat, Amon shuts the situation down immediately. For as much as he wants to handle Robert and take him down, he doesn't want Nadia to be collateral damage in the process. And Garrett gets pissed that Amon, in order to protect his wife, decides to shut the situation down. Tony, on the other hand, she seemed more than willing to have Nadia taken down, and that's because, there's no love lost between them. But with Amon shutting that situation down, Garrett on a rampage, and Robert increasingly showing himself as a dangerous person, Tony asked Fiona to take the kids, including her own, and go to JD's just because she sees there could be potential strength in numbers if they went over there, much less there's the possibility, not a strong one, but there's a possibility that Robert may know where Tony lives, may know the names of all her family members, but maybe he doesn't know who JD is. For the second topic, we're going into what happens at JD's house, and let it be very clear, JD has just moved into his apartment. He still has boxes all over the place, and apparently has some girlfriend named Lauren who knows where she lives, or even if she exists. All that's clear is that JD is more than welcoming, but after things settle down a bit, he asks Fiona what's going on, and as she slowly but surely divulges all that Tony is into, he pretty much doesn't want Jazz around Tony. And with that comes that old fear that Fiona had about potential custody battle, but right now, JD's not at the point of triggering that. For the last topic, we're going to go into how Amon and Tony kind of get around having Nadia too involved with the situation, yet still pretty much involved with the situation. So, as we've seen for the last couple episodes, Amon and Nadia haven't been on the same page. She thinks that he's cheating on her with Tony, he denies it, and while he has given Tony looks, he hasn't kissed her, I think, since season 1 at this point. So he's been a good boy. But getting back in Nadia's good graces, well, actually, you would think it would have took a while, but it didn't take all much time because she still loves Amon. It's just the breaking of trust, feel like she wasn't chosen over Tony, caused major issues. But things are cool now, and after they reconcile, Amon is able to get the badge to Robert's office, get it to Tony. She's able to get pictures of Robert's ledger, which she can send over to Garrett, and she also discovers Nadia and Robert were married. She brings this to Amon after those two meet up again, after he makes sure to solidify things are back in good graces with Nadia. And it's not clear whether or not he knew that Nadia was married to Robert, but now he definitely does. So the first highlight for us is just Nadia stepping into a power position, and it's just nice to see because we know that Nadia, back in the La Habana Hayek days, was cooking the books and seemingly was very good with numbers. So for her to be trusted by Robert of all people with his business that apparently she pushed him to start up, it reminds you that she is so much more powerful and capable than she is often shown. It's just for whatever reason her potential is mostly wasted in either just being Armand's wife or Robert's ex, and like we've said probably multiple times at this point, I just hope that we come to a point with Nadia where she can firmly be an independent person. That's our second highlight, and this just, I continue to enjoy the chemistry while continuing to question why did they break up. Yes, distance was a noted issue, alongside Fiona questioning whether or not JD loved her. But it feels like those are surface level problems or just what they tell each other, while there's more to it than that. I mean, even just learning how they met is something I'm curious about, and we don't really get much in the way of flashbacks, but being that the other lady who was definitely a light to the show hasn't been seen since she was introduced, I'm hoping that JD can continue to be a light for the show, considering its rather dark-ish tone, and that we can get to know him on a more personal level outside of being Fiona's ex, Jazz's father, and I don't know, maybe dig into his military career, him being a teacher now, just something. Like even his relationship with Chris, I don't know where exactly JD's teaching and whether or not that's Chris's school or not, because it's one of the minor details that if you're not really thinking about it, it could easily slip your mind. But I just don't want JD to kind of become like the new Nadia in a way, especially because you can see he has so much potential, which is something we say about a lot of characters on the show, to be independent and notable in his self. But like we've said with Robert, I think just in the last episode, at what point do you have to give up on potential, just accept things as they are? And I, with JD, don't want to get there anytime soon. Which brings us to our last highlight, which is just Toni making it clear who she's ultimately loyal to. Yes, Garrett has done so much for her. Yes, Armand has done so much for her. But at the end of the day, her loyalties to Luca, her loyalties to Fiona, Chris, and Jazz. And the reason why this is such a highlight for us is just that I think that Armand and Garrett have kind of gotten comfortable with Toni to the point where they think that she's someone who's, I won't say at their beck and call, but is down for whatever cause they're for. And Toni pushing back on Garrett after the whole Chris situation. Toni making it clear that she would probably turn on Nadia when she was talking to Armand. It really reminds you that as much as Toni does have the ability to make herself come off small, she's also the person that will have no problem going against these men with immense power on their own, never mind the backing of the United States government or Hayek, who's part of a cartel of some sort. And it does leave you to wonder if one day she's gonna bite off more than she can chew. But until that day comes, it's just increasingly entertaining to watch this rather small woman who, from what we know, doesn't know how to fight, doesn't have any like gun skills and all that, and her best backing is her sister-in-law, yet she's still going against these people, mostly men by the way, and acting like she's 7 foot tall, some Wonder Woman type of build, or even She-Hulk, and just rarely ever backing down. Overall, I think what spousal privilege, which is the name of the episode, reminds us is that when it comes to the Clean Lady, it really doesn't need to add a whole bunch of characters and, try to expand outward. Really, if it looks at the core cast and just develops them, it could do so much better and so much more. Because bringing on more and more characters like Robert, Cortez, and all them who are expendable, it's making the show potentially worse more than it is making it better.